This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. And welcome to my review of Superman and Lois, Season 4, Episode 9, titled To Live and Die Again. And honestly, this is exciting. It is the second to last episode. Next week is the series finale. As I mentioned last week, both excited and a little disappointed by this because the show has been incredible. Really can't wait for next week, but to go to this week, yeah, this is an amazing episode. And when I thought that they actually did the best version of Doomsday, I was wrong. They've now done the best looking version of Doomsday where he looks, with the exception of the bizarre Superman symbol on him, exactly like Doomsday from the comics. It is just insane that a TV show, which has a budget smaller than all of BVS, is able to have a better looking Doomsday than that movie. In fact, they probably spent more money on making Doomsday in that movie than they did on probably at least half the season, potentially the entire season. So it's just crazy. And just looking at this episode was insanely great. It had some great cameos and just some incredible scenes throughout it. I think that one of the things we will see in the last episode is after defeating Doomsday, most likely alongside Jonathan and Jordan, they will remove his heart, which will be the only way to actually kill Doomsday and have that placed into Clark to give him a true Kryptonian heart. And with that, he would be returned to his full strength, and the three of them will be able to take on Lex. And we also have just Lex Luthor just going to absolute insane lengths. The one thing I'm disappointed about is that they didn't repaint the war suit to be that classic Lex Luthor, sort of like green and purple. I think that should have made it perfect. And just the entire thing with how Lex just uses women that are in love with him was a great story. It definitely makes sense, and I think that Lois going back to the beginning, going to Mannheim it was just a brilliant move for her to go to someone who was at least partially involved with Luthor when he was on the top of his game, and we just see how petty of a person Lex is in this. Smallville denied him to build his new headquarters there, so he literally wants to destroy the entire town. This might be one of the just most evil versions of Lex Luthor to really ever exist. He is a really incredible version, but not my personal favorite. That has to be the animated version, which that specific type of Lex Luthor, the one who wants to look like a legitimate businessman, but is really just a hidden criminal mastermind who just hates Superman, is my personal favorite, but this is probably an easy second. Just like the Robin Lord Taylor version of Penguin is probably always going to be my favorite. The Colin Farrell one was an easy second, but this one, I just really loved this because it was just amazing how just truly evil he is. He is such a petty person, and even though his main problems are with Lois, now he wants to go take out the entire Kent family and all of Smallville. So I'm expecting they're going to be Man of Stealing Smallville in this next episode, especially since they have done the one thing that Man of Steel never did, actually evacuate the area. And now that Smallville has more or less been evacuated, I think it's going to be basically nearly destroyed in just an intense battle between, well, Superman, Jonathan Jordan, and Doomsday. And of course, the fact that Doomsday no longer has any memories of him being Bizarro and Lois can't reach him is pretty interesting. I think that we will be seeing Superman survive the finale. I don't feel like they're going to kill him off for a second time. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I just feel like that's just not really in the tone of the show. I feel like the three of them will destroy Doomsday, remove his heart, and use that to return Clark to his full strength. Sadly, they won't be able to return General Lane, but I think that this is a way for them to have Clark return with his powers, or they could just go with a way where Clark is going to retire as Superman at the end of this and give the mantle over to Jonathan and Jordan, who will together take up the role of Superman, which I think is also a really interesting way for them to go. But either way, it's just going to be really interesting. I wonder if they're going to be taking the Superboy mantle at all, or if they'll just full on take the Superman mantle after the end of the show, and that'd be interesting to see. I also just kind of love the scene where they got the meals named after them, and Jordan is just really jealous that Jonathan got a full adult meal and he got a kid's meal based off of him. So that was a really great scene. But speaking of Jordan, I think one of the best scenes of it was him going to help calm down the I can't remember if it was Victoria or May, but the owner of Vicky Mays, and that was just a really great scene. I think that really everything with this was it was absolutely incredible. I think that it's close, but I just can't top it over the episode where Clark revealed his identity. Again, it's close, and essentially we're at the part we were at last week. Well, not last week, at the beginning of the season, where Superman's battling Doomsday. He's most likely going to die, but now both of his kids are at a point where they could go and help him. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. And I'm excited to see Lex face justice because just considering Superman as a character, he wouldn't kill, and I don't care what the Snyder people say, Superman shouldn't be killing anyone really besides Doomsday, since Doomsday is a completely mindless monster. But if the person, if it's, especially if it's a person, I can also see Superman fully be willing to kill Darkseid because Darkseid is pure evil, and I think that especially if he is facing against Darkseid in a moment of weakness, he definitely could go too far and take him out. But I'd say that those are probably the only two real exceptions. And besides that, Superman really shouldn't be killing. As that Doomsday, especially once Doomsday is a completely mindless killing machine, I think that is fine. And then Darkseid, because honestly, that episode of Justice League where Superman is just willing to do whatever it takes to kill Darkseid is just too incredible to honestly just not consider that one of the few times because that version of Superman just hated Darkseid. But going back to this version, honestly, this is just so amazing. I wish that this went for a few more seasons so we could have seen some incredible villains like Brainiac, Darkseid, and maybe even Zod, although he's probably not necessary since Tal-Rho was pretty similar. Although that would probably be a good idea for them to send Jonathan and Jordan to the other Earth unless that pathway was completely sealed. I can't remember if that was what happened, but I don't think it is because I remember Tal went there and there was implication he could return. I think that another way they could do this is they go and get Tal and ask him for help. And I think that's another way that they could do this where you have four Kryptonian, well, two full Kryptonians and two half Kryptonians teaming up and going to take down the just one of the greatest villains to really ever exist. Easily in live action, this is my favorite version of Luthor, but as I said, the DC AU's version will always be my favorite because of just how incredible he was. But yeah, easy second. As I said last week, I and the week before, I just love the fact that he shaved his beard and just has this perfect Lex Luthor look now. And as I said, the only thing that would make it better is if this suit was painted in those classic Lex Luthor colors. But yeah, honestly, as I said, it's just incredible. Writing has been amazing, acting incredible. I have to say that the Penguin was better than this, but only slightly because it's a little more. I like that little more darker storytelling, but this was still incredible. This truly feels like the perfect Superman live action series because it's hard to say because this is incredible. So is Superman the animated series. Both of them are really close. I'd say maybe Superman animated series because season two. I mean, it's not bad, but it's definitely not as good as seasons one, three, and four. So I'd say overall as a show, Superman the animated series is better, but this one is probably has the more high quality episodes. But yeah, honestly, this is just truly incredible. As I said, the most disappointing thing is this isn't longer, so we could see some more iconic Superman villains because most of the ones that exist are mainly being shown, like Atomic Skull and others, in training simulations, and they're not actually fighting them. We really have them only go against Talro in season one, the Parasite in season two, Mannheim and Onomatopoeia in season three, with Doomsday at the end, and then Doomsday and Lex Luthor in season four. And it's just absolutely incredible. I really, really can't wait to see how this ends. I will be disappointed because it's over, just like with Penguin and just like I'll be with Andor next year. But truly incredible. I'm just loving this completely, and just everything is. It's just amazing. I really can't wait to see how this ends, as I said, and I'm also just to see just how long Lex is going to prison for, or if he's even going to be getting the death sentence because, well, death penalty because trying to wipe out an entire town, pretty sure that's considered a war crime, and he is just a completely unhinged version of Lex Luthor. It is so great to see, and I am so glad of any villain they chose to do for the final season it was Lex. Because, yeah, as I said, I'd love to see Brainiac, I'd love to see Darkseid, I'd even love to see Zod, but if you're gonna have a final villain for Superman, it has to be his most famous, and that is obviously Lex Luthor. So excited to see this. finish up, and I really want to know what you think because I am so excited. So please let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.